2020 has never been so divided. Me. And I can't really tell which one is better. I can say exit music is better, but it would be unfair. Because, first of all, I don't even know Fallen Angel. And yes, that's true. Feel free to comment down below how uncultured I am. But anyways, hello, my name's MidBit, and welcome to Doki Doki Fallen Angel. So apparently, this mod has won the best mod, best Yuri mod, and best or most emotional mod of 2019. This mod is a year old, and I feel very uncultured that I don't know a thing about this mod. I only learned about it through this meme, and if Fallen Angel really is that emotional, to a point where it's compared to something like exit music, then I'm very excited, because I'm into that emotional kind of thing. I really like emotionally driven mods, so if you do have any suggestions on what I should play, I really like to lean toward the more emotional. And you know what? I'm pretty much excited for this experience. So if this is your first time to seeing Fallen Angel, or this is your second, your third, or your fourth time, and you're about to see a man go from this mod's highest of highs to the mod's most crushing lows, well, I hope you guys are excited because I am very excited myself. So if you enjoyed, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more. And without further ado, let's get started. This is MidBit from the future. While I was editing, what happened is that apparently the video of my recording, the video portion, was corrupted, and while it was rendering, well, it froze my PC. So what I did was that I re-recorded the entire video portion of this video. So if my voice seems to be delayed or a bit too early from what's actually on the screen, I apologize in advance. That's pretty much all. Enjoy the video. Midas. Midas. Midas, wake up! I shake myself awake. Huh? Upon opening my eyes, the image of Sayori fills my view. Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of your classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. Why? I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Well, you promised this morning you would check out some clubs, so I thought maybe... What are you getting at, Sayori? Well, that you could come to my club. Like I said, I have no interest in literature. Sayori... Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Me. Yeah, I'm going home. But you promised! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring a new member. And now it's giving me cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. Like how you promised me you'll look at clubs. I shot myself in the foot there, didn't I? I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Sayori grabs me by the wrist and yanks me out of my chair. Ooh! Did we even have these for introductions of the acts? Friendships made, friendships broken. And thus the day marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, throws open the classroom door. Was it really necessary to use so much force when you could have just gently opened the door? And I hope I don't see those texts again. Gently open the door. Yikes. Everyone, the newest member is here. What did I say about calling my new member? Eh? I glance around the room and we even have panning animations. Cool. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. And now you're here. I've been really looking forward to finally seeing you. Wait, what did I say that out loud? My god. Who is this angel? She's absolutely stunning. I've never seen her around school before. I would have remembered my eyes. If my eyes ever made contact with the likes of her. The way her lavender eyes pierce mine. Her long purple hair which frames her face. Her mature physique that any girl wished she had. Why do I feel so hot all of a sudden? My face is burning and my palms are sweaty. My knees getting weak in front of Yuri. Does this school turn off the AC after hours or something? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Midas, what a surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club. That's an incredibly cute. Oh, you even point specifically at Yuri this time. Aww, it's adorable. That's an incredibly cute girl. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. Sayori steps closer and leans into my ear. Can you believe she's the same age as us, Midas? I turn to Sayori who is dumbfounded with a dumbfounded expression written on my face. Don't let his eyes fool you. Natsuki can hold her own. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori steps away and I turn back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. I say this to the both of them, however my eyes never stray off of Yuri. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. Monika smiles sweetly. Smile. A damn smile. Yeah, we had a class last year together, I believe. Monika and I were in the same chemistry class last year. I would joke with my friends about how me and her had chemistry together, implying more of a romantic connection. In reality, we only had one interaction with each other. I'm surprised Monika even remembers us. And that was when I had sneezed and she said bless you, to which I accidentally responded with you too. That's right. It's great to see you again, Midas. And you too. Monika. Smooth. Come and sit down, Midas. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly trots back to the table, tray in hand. Huh? What? She was zooming in and then suddenly bang! Oof! What happened? Oh no! Natsuki trips and falls to the ground, tray in hand. Oh my god, are you okay? Is the cupcakes okay? Sayori looks more stressed about the cupcakes, I'm guessing. I rush out of my seat to help her. Don't touch me! Natsuki gets up onto her feet without my assistance. She quickly pats herself off. The cupcakes! The tray of cupcakes spill over. On the floor I see a dozen chocolate cupcakes with colored frosting ranging from pinks and whites. Each one is decorated to look like little cats with chocolate chips to make the nose and ears. I'm sorry. Natsuki looks really sad that she dropped her cupcakes. Sayuri seems pretty sad too. I mean, she's pretty much the one who requested them. Okay, it's alright. Look, not all of them fell out. I pick up the tray. Although a decent number of cupcakes hit the floor, there's still a few that stayed relatively safe in the tray. You can still eat these, right? Right. Yay, we still get cupcakes! Natsuki, why don't you get a broom to clean these up? Alright. What's the significance of that? Like, I'm guessing that scene would fall somewhere down the line. I just don't know where. Natsuki goes to the closet and we continue where we had left off. Sayuri leans into my ear. Hey, Midas? Yeah? You did good there. Well, everyone just seemed disappointed. That's just like you. What do you mean? Alright, let's eat these cupcakes. What do you mean, Sayuri? If we're going to go by the formula of exit music, considering that Fallen Angel is compared to exit music, what'll happen is Sayuri is depressed. And Monica, well, supposed to be our guardian of some sort. And then, by that logic, that means we'll be rivaling, or Yuri rather will be rivaling with Natsuki, as per usual. I wonder how this will go. Sayuri ignores my question. She immediately grabs one, followed by Monica, then me. Natsuki also returns broom in hand. It's delicious! Sayuri talks with her mouth full, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. After she finishes sweeping up the mess, Natsuki returns to the table. She's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I shove the entire cupcake in my mouth like a vacuum. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thanks, Natsuki. Why are you taking me? It's not like I made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, so you said, well, maybe, but not for, you know, you. Dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's rude logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the center of the table. Keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri is just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I understand. Well, tea really might not be a pastime for me, but I do enjoy a cup of tea at least. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow then smiles at me. So what made you consider the Literature Club? I almost choked on my own tea! I was fearful of this question. I can't tell Monica was bribed with cupcakes and practically dragged here by Sayuri. Sayuri bribed me with cupcakes and a drag. We just said not to say this out loud! Sayuri bribed me with cupcakes and dragged me here. Monica shoots a glance at Sayuri then back at me. She then smiles warmingly at me. That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. So Midas, what kinds of things do you like to read? Yet another question I was not ready to answer. Considering I've read little to nothing the past years, I don't really have a good way of answering. Yuri seems like an avid reader, so I had to give an answer that would seem impressive. Think, Midas, think! A manga. I muttered to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Did you say manga? Yeah. Why? No reason. Alright then. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyways, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyways, I've been reading a lot of psychological horror lately. I read a horror book once. Technically, I watched a movie based off a book. They're practically the same thing. No, they're not. They are not the same thing. At this rate, you might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Huh? Monica? What are you implying? Trying to show off much? What do you mean? And who are you talking to? Are you mad at me? Monica? What was that, Monica? Oh, I was just saying that. Okay. I guess my hypothesis is wrong. What I said earlier is that Monica is supposed to be our guardian in this mod. Just like in Exit Music because, well, they're compared, so that's what I'm led to be thinking, but it appears Monica hates Yuri. But why? I was just saying that's unexpected, Yuri, for someone of such gentle nature like you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world. Only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dark over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud" and give it back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayuri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, yeah. I guess sometimes. What do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Wanna bet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your mind. I could listen to Yuri talk about writing all day. My thoughts are then interrupted by Monica. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yikes. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in an awkward silence for a moment. Okay, everyone, I have an idea. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. What? Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Midas? What is this, an interrogation? Why do these girls keep asking me difficult questions? Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? I never said I would join this club. Oh no. So you may have even convinced me to stop by, but I haven't made a definitive decision. I still have other clubs to look at. My train of thought has been derailed. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. Midas, you all I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with Yuri. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the Ledger Club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me with a vice-like grip, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you came here just for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then it makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks. I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, they can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Midas, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. You too, Monica. Once again, I failed to form a proper sentence in front of Monica. I mean, even if we're smitten by Yuri at this point, come on. You can't reject Monica that easily. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Midas, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind can't stop focusing on one of the girls, Yuri. I find that really cute, even if it is a small detail, that we're focusing on Yuri at the very beginning of the mod. Maybe I'm crazy, but I definitely felt a connection between us. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I can take this opportunity to grow closer to her. Alright, I'll have to play my cards right and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Perhaps if I write a good poem, I could gain the attention of a specific girl. Yuri said she liked horror, right? Well, let's see if I can conjure from that. Or what I can conjure from that. Oh my. We even have our own music, which I assume will play whenever we're in our bedroom. I take a seat at my desk. Poems. Poems, 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 poems. I continue to repeat the word over and over in my head as if it would give me inspiration. Tap, tap, tap. I don't know what to write. I'm not feeling particularly inspired. Maybe if I just write 20 random words, right? Maybe if I just write 20 random words down. Oh. I thought that we were actually going to do it, but it appears we're not going to do it. Then how are we gonna write our poem then? No, that would never work. I get up from my chair. What do I do? What do I do? I'm a new member. I have to show I'm good enough to be a part of the club. More so, I want to impress. I can't afford to embarrass myself. I already did when I told Yuri I only read manga. Aha! I should check out the bookstore. Perhaps if I studied up on poetry, I could impress the girls. I grab my notebook and head out. Alright, let's see. I begin running my fingers along various books. I start to pick up random books off the shelf. Unwind? No. It? No, wait, does It have a book adaptation? That's horror, right? You should enjoy it. The Lightning Thief? What am I 13? I can't. Oh my goodness, what am I 13? There has to be some decent books around here somewhere. I pull another off the shelf. Ooh! Outcast! What? How can you have a reaction like that to Outcast? It's really good! And if you haven't seen it, I have it right here. A guy walks beside me. Is that Outcast? He picks it up. This is a great start. Good job for the lack of a better name, guy, for appreciating Outcast. I'm sure it is. Wow, we didn't even pick it up. Aww. I walk to the next aisle. This is useless. Oh, who are you? That's useless. What the hell? What happened? The screen just shook all of a sudden. I quickly jerked my body to face the random Hello, Monica. To face the random voice. It's you, Monica. Did I scare you? Me? Scared? Nah. I nearly peed my pants, but I'm good. What are you doing here? I'm looking forward for some books on Chopin. Who? Frederick Chopin. He was a virtuoso and pianist back in the early 1800s. Monica's eyes seem to light up whenever she talks about old dead guys. Are you into piano, Monica? Not exactly. I'm only beginning to learn. Piano? Really? A girl of your talents? I mean, she's pretty much multi-talented. I mean, canonically, she's athletic. She's musical, considering that she now likes to play piano. She's apparently smart and has the ability to pretty much manipulate the world. So I'm pretty sure she's very talented. Well, that's great, Monica. Now it's my turn. What are you doing here, Midas? What am I doing here? I would never go to a bookstore out of my own volition. Well, since I'm now part of the literature club, I wanted to get more well-versed in the material. Do you have anything in mind? Not really, I've just been looking. In the horror section? Huh? I look up to see this aisle is marked horror. How are we not even able to know that? I mean, every bookstore has, like, the label of the aisles. Oh my goodness. Did you happen to get inspired by a certain someone from the club? You're fun to tease, Midas. My face turns beet red. My eyes subconsciously begin to move away. I spot a purple figure near the checkout. Yuri's here too? We should say hi then. Hey, Monica? Isn't that Yuri over there? Huh? Monica turns around and sees Yuri checking out a handful of books. What a coincidence! Our 3 club members all went to the bookstore by themselves at the same time. Right, Monica? Monica seems to be fixated on Yuri. Why? Monica? Monica? Hello? Oh, sorry about that, Midas. I just got a bit distracted. Midas, do you mind if I ask a question? Go ahead. What do you think about the club members? I'm getting really suspicious here. You first get fixated on Yuri and then you ask that type of a question. Monica seems to be really serious when she asks that. Well, as you know, Sayuri and I are best friends. Natsuki seems alright for the most part. And Yuri? What about Yuri? At the club you seem really entranced by her. Did I? You did! And why are you angry? Gulp. Are you sure? Yuri is a good asset to the club, but she's very timid around new people. I'd be very upset if she left because she felt uncomfortable in the club. Monica, I would never do that. Good. Just keep your distance from Yuri, okay? Why? Why are you telling me to purposely avoid her? Are you sure that's the right thing to do? I don't want to isolate her. Everything is better that— What do you mean? Huh? Everything is better that way. Monica's acting really weird. Why would I purposely avoid Yuri? Exactly! Why? Why would I purposely avoid Yuri? But I have to go now. Bye, Midas! Monica skips off. It looks like Yuri has officially— or Yuri has already— Sorry, I can't read. I am confused right now. Why is Monica saying that? It looks like Yuri has already finished checking out her books and left too. Why would I make Yuri uncomfortable? Everything is better that way. Something about the way Monica said that made me feel uncomfortable. Perhaps I'm just overthinking things. I end up not buying any books. Instead, I just begin to walk home, instead of a poem to write. Hi again, Midas. Glad to see it didn't run away from us. Nah, don't you worry. This might be a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm a man of my word. Well, I'm back at the Ledger Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Midas. I hope it isn't too overwhelming of a commitment to you, making you dive headfirst in literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sorry, told me you didn't even want to join clubs this year. You even said it yourself, so I had to practically drag you here. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Excuse me, Natsuki, but I was still talking before you interrupted. Hey, I'm looking out for us. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds us so stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki turns around and marches to the closet. Don't worry, guys. Midas always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost blew your house down once. Is that so? She did? Did she ever tell you that story? Midas, wait! Cyrus having a party at her house. I'm freaking out. The dog's having a seizure and I still got half a pie left. Stop it! It's embarrassing! I love Sayori's pouty face. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. Oh come! You and Midas can become good friends too! Sayori... As per usual, Sayori is completely oblivious to even the most basic of social cues. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori! Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's nothing. Really, what is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal, but it's really not. What do we do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't that thinking. Guess that's my cue to rescue this situation. Hey, don't you worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. It's a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. We could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. You can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. At the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. You catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be in the first few pages. Uh-oh. I think she noticed me staring at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I just wanted to know a bit more about the book is all. And I'm glad you're interested in it. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. Yikes! And this is what you call relatable and engaging? The book is entitled Infinite Isolation! What the hell? We gotta save this girl ASAP. The cover shows a shadowy figure sitting in what appears to be a jail cell. Through the barred window of the cell is a single cherry blossom. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about a woman and her husband who are imprisoned in a human experimentation camp. Okay, this is different from Portrait of Markov. They planned to escape the camp, but unfortunately their plans are discovered. As punishment, the wife is forced to watch them hang her husband from a tree! You call that relatable? And then spend the rest of her days in solitary confinement. The rest of the story is about her dive into total insanity after traumatic events. Yeah, then this is what you call relatable, Yuri. You gotta save this fallen angel. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Not kind of dark, it's very dark. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Midas? No, it's not that. I mean, I definitely can enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive in the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. And horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly when you realize, when you thought you related to the protagonist, there may not have been the naive one for any of their one-sided morals, yet afraid of the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. You don't apologize. I haven't lost interest in it all. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. And I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. I gotta forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. At least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. Yuri seems to relax a bit now. In fact, you might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me grab the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I stepped into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Oh, you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and I start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like it feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. There's never a bad time to ever see one of the original artworks. I actually like all of them, this included. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. I try to focus on reading. Oh, we even have the book and everything. Oh my goodness. I'm guessing this is from the girl's perspective. Lena? Lena, wake up! I slowly open my eyes. The sunlight is blinding until a figure appears over me. He speaks to me in a deep voice. Wake the fuck up, Lena! Oh wait. This isn't from Lena then. Sorry, I thought she was trying to speak to herself. My bad. You got the camp to burn. My vision clears and I see who's before me. It's my husband, Keanu. I groggily sit myself up. Keanu grabs my arm and helps me. Come on, we'll talk after you get something in your stomach. My eyes glide along the pages. The words aren't difficult to understand, but it's been a long time since I've read a book. Are you ready? Eh? Suddenly Yuri's eyes fall on me. I turn the page. Sorry, I think I get a bit distracted for a sec. I glance over at Yuri's face once again and our eyes meet. I couldn't help with Yuri. I couldn't keep up with Yuri, even in normal conditions. In our current position, I'm having an even harder time focusing. That's okay. Aww, she's smiling. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you any longer. It's probably the best I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. I hope Yuri doesn't think I'm illiterate or something. Nevertheless, I continue to read. So remind me what the plan is, I ask. Not here. There's too many ears around. I look at the courtyard. Keanu and I have been trapped in this... P-O-W? What does P-O-W mean? Camp for months now. I'm sick of it. I plan to escape, but I'm nervous. The stakes are high, and if we get caught, who knows what could happen? Regardless, waiting for help isn't gonna work. We'll rot here before the war ever comes to an end. Okay, so it's not some random kidnapping. It's a human experimentation camp in the middle of a war. Presumably a human experimentation camp for chemical weaponry, I'm guessing. I look around to the other prisoners around me. It's like a zombie movie. Everyone is so lifeless. I suppose this is what happens when humans lose their humanity. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. I continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning its page feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it with her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. And she's afraid to do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of her mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Midas, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! Fantastic! 10 minutes in, and I've already managed to ruin my chances with Yuri. At love. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant that I find it cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Seriously, Monica? Right now? Are you doing this on purpose? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. Why are you smiling while saying that? Monica! It's not. It's fine. It might have been my imagination, but it seemed Monica was giving me a dirty look before turning away. I mean, you're not the only one thinking of that. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. I'll go ahead and finish the first few chapters. That way, we can read together when the story picks up. That sounds like a good idea. Alright. I stand up, making a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My stomach ties itself in a knot. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Monica and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Wow! We really have a choice here now, don't we? With whom should I share my poem with first? Where's the Monica option then? Yuri is probably the most experienced, so I can trust she'll give honest feedback. Also, she's the girl I'm trying to impress anyways, so it wanna make sense to talk to her first. I walk up to Yuri. I guess this is why we share poems, huh? I guess so. The gentleman in me would say ladies first, but Yuri seems so nervous about this. Not too comfortable with sharing, I presume? It's just I've never really done this before. Alright, that's fine. How about I share you my poem first? Really? Of course. Yuri sighs in relief. Thank you. I wave my hand dismissively. Don't you mention it. Just don't make fun of my handwriting. What do you mean? A lot of people give me crap about because my handwriting is very childish. Midas, I will never do such a thing. I hope that's not how you really see me. And that's not it at all. I don't think that you're the type of person who would make such a big deal out of something so minuscule. Forget I said anything. Very well. Anyways, here's my poem. I hand Yuri my poem. Ooh! Yeah. The music really isn't my jam, but it's okay, it's fine, I guess. But I'm really surprised that we have our own poem. The silence of the night. I lay, eyes closing, drifting out of consciousness. Thoughts fester and plague my mind. My imagination plays tricks on me as the deafening silence pounds my eardrums. The fragile silence is broken by the sound of a voice. That sweet, sweet voice of a woman bidding me goodnight. I breathe in and out as my eyes close again. I lay in the cage of my blankets. I feel as if I'm in a dream. I can feel an aura of another person next to me. I'm captivated by the voice at my door bidding me goodnight until I realize I live alone. My heartbeat is unstable as my eyes explode open. The deafening silence returns. My eyes slowly drift out of consciousness again. Phenomenal! What was that? Midas, this poem is fascinating. The dark tone and eerie ambience you've created is very unsettling. And I don't know if the music is purposely meant to be like that. Not in a bad way though. Did I raise my voice? I'm sorry. Damn it, I was actually getting somewhere. Alright, Midas. Fix this. Hey, it's alright, I didn't even notice. Please continue. You seem really interested in my poem. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a very dark and chilling piece that really evokes emotion. Question for you, Midas. How much experience do you have in writing? Your use of metaphors and the way you pull the reader into your poem is fantastic. Or fascinating. Really? Thanks, Yuri. That means a lot coming from you. To be honest, this was actually my first time writing poetry. I knew that! I could tell by... She's trying to impress us, I guess. Yuri traces her finger along my poem, dissecting it down further. Yes, here's how I was able to tell. A common mistake I see in new writers is that they try to make their writing too deliberate. They usually try to focus on one or two different topics or styles, and try to form fit the two together. The end result is both the writing and the meaning of the piece are weakened. Once Yuri gets her thoughts together, she appears to be a whole different person. Of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. That's good advice, Yuri. I'll definitely consider that next time. I'm sure you'll improve nicely. Metaphors can go a long way in writing. I have an example of that. I'd like to read it, of course. Yuri smiles as if this is a rare opportunity for her. I think that in itself is funny. I mean, isn't this a literature club after all? Yuri hands me her poem. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Breathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Is it just me or the poem is a bit altered? This isn't how I remember Ghost Under the Light. Or maybe that's just me. I'm sorry if I have such terrible handwriting. I said this before and I'm gonna say this again. Yuri, along with Monica, have the best font, in my opinion. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. I probably shouldn't tell Yuri I never learned how to read. We didn't even know. So this means we didn't even understand. If that's the case, since we don't know how to read cursive. But it's just I don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. Size shouldn't matter, right? It will and always will be performance over size, right? I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, this story isn't about a ghost at all, Midas. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. Oh god, she's probably disappointed. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than just tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's really impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. To take Yuri seriously though, like... I was actually pretty impressed. That poem, our poem, it's actually well written. I liked it. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Midas. Me too, Yuri. Me too. It makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Aww. Wait, does this mean that we don't get to share with the others? I was actually expecting that we would talk to Monica about how she's treating Yuri like this, like how I wanted to know why does she want Yuri to be isolated. I guess that's everyone. So here showed me her poem, Dear Sunshine. I could tell she wrote it this morning, but when I asked her, she avoided the question. Next, Natsuki showed me her poem called Eagles Can Fly. It was a short and simple poem, but the message on how you try and try but never really get good is very well thought out. Lastly, Monica and I shared our poems. Her poem was entitled Hole in the Wall. It was pretty abstract and I didn't really understand it. Monica said that she had something to do with an epiphany of hers, but she didn't really go into much detail. Nevertheless, I thought it was a good poem. I glanced over the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What with this language? Eh? Did you say something, Natsuki? It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively rotates upon the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Your sis. No, here it comes. Cute. Cute? Did you completely miss a symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How could that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but that really didn't come out nice at all. Well, if I could give you a few small critiques. Huh. Well, is it not that edgy enough for your taste, Yuri? Oh god, we're going to use the edge word on Yuri. What is that supposed to mean? If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Midas liked it too. So based on that, I'll try to give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which yours definitely wasn't. Yikes! And Midas liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Here we go. The gas is about to be lit. Oh? I didn't notice you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Midas appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know you didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? There wasn't one of those boobs magically grow 2 sizes bigger as soon as mine started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys! I would never do something so shameful. Suddenly, bold girls turned towards me as if I just noticed I was standing there. Midas! She's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing's more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? I mean, you should jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Let me explain that to her, Midas. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Midas? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Am I really the best person to intervene in this conversation? Oh my god, we have a choice! No! Well... Obviously, this is almost never the good decision. So I'll attempt to defuse the situation. I think that you both are very talented and have very unique writing style. Bullshit! Bullshit! I sit back into my seat. I really need to start preparing myself for difficult questions these girls might ask. Excuse me, Natsuki, but I don't think I have anywhere to talk to Midas like that. You know what I think, Yuri? I think when I first met you, I was excited to meet someone who I thought would share the same interests as me. But now I see how you're just some stuck-up bitch! Yikes. That's beyond below the belt. Yikes, Natsuki. That cuts very deep. And I'm pretty much gonna guess that Yuri is gonna cut very deep. It's no wonder you have friends. Or you know you don't have friends. Oh god, she's crying. You better bet that you're sad. You better regret that, Natsuki. Yuri went out of the classroom, wiping her eyes with her sleeve. I mean, to hear that you don't have any friends, I would do the same thing. I stared deeply at Natsuki. I see regret in her eye. You better regret that, Natsuki. God. I should go and apologize. Before I can process what just happened, Natsuki is already out of the classroom. I turned to Monica. Aren't you gonna do something? You of all people should do something, Monica. Should I? You should! You're Miss President, aren't you? You should go help resolve the situation. I think they'll be fine. She walks off. What the hell? How is the club president not going to do anything here? And why? I don't think Yuri wants to see Natsuki right now, so maybe it's best if I intervene. I start to walk toward the door to find Yuri. Midas! I've stopped cold in my tracks by Monica's sudden shift in tone. Why are you stopping me? You should stay here. And why are you smiling? You just need some time to yourself to calm down. It's in italics. What are you trying to say, Monica? What? There's something ominous about the way Monica said that, but maybe she's right. What does she mean by calm down? Yuri will come back when she's ready. Oh my goodness. This raises a whole lot of questions. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Of course, Yuri has to be silent. It was alright. Midas, how about you? I feel very confused because why in the hell did you leave Yuri alone? I guess it was okay. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. By which we mean Yuri. I know to myself in newfound determination. Midas, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No! That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? I think to myself, I shouldn't judge people based off only just 2 days. No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Midas, it's nice I get to spend good time with you in the club, but seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. You big, fat liar! And I think everyone that likes you too. And that's... Every day is going to be so much fun, and it's not going to be fun for me because I'm going to see a sad Sayuri. It looks like Sayuri still hasn't caught into the situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayuri. I pat Sayuri on the shoulder. I said that more to myself more than her. But it's easy to use Sayuri as an internal monologue sometimes. She's some sort of tape recorder. Okay, let's do this. Time to write another poem. You seem to like the last one I wrote. She seemed to be fond of using symbolic meanings in her poems. Maybe I can do something like that again to impress her.